Hello, everybody. We are back with another Spritz Society class, and today I'm so excited about this one because we're joined by two wonderful women, both of which are in Charleston, South Carolina. They are the Cocktail Bandits. It is Johnny Caldwell and Tanika Reeves. Hello, ladies.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. Wonderful. Even better now. This day has been just so lovely getting to see you all several times already. Awesome. So we, as part of the Spritz Society, of course, with beautiful Kettle One Botanical, we have the opportunity for you to also create a couple delicious spritzes for us. So if you guys could just take us through what you all put together.
Yes, well, hello to you again.
Hello.
It's always fun to do these interactions since we haven't been able to have some, in-person interaction with folks. We're missing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we definitely came up with some really fun garnishes that you can use to put in a mocktail or in a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with the one that we have in our wonderful soda waters today.
Mm-hmm.
It is a ice cube with some edible flowers. So it gives you your florals.
Beautiful.
Get the aromas, and also you get to just take little sips.
Wonderful.
Who doesn't like, eating flowers? It's just something romantic about that.
Right. I think I love to be constantly surrounded by flowers, and I think that's pretty clear based off of both of our backdrops here.
Absolutely.
Flowers just make everything better. So what flowers are you all sipping on in your soda waters today?
It's like some marigolds inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some orchids, all the good, fun, edible garnishes.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers.
Yes. Very food safe.
Yes, very safe.
Yeah.
And what's fun about the ice cube is once it, melts, then you have the flowers floating in your glass, which is pretty by itself there too. And then you can have a little bite of the flowers and get like hydrated and get the herbal notes,
Right.
Flowers and water.
Yes.
Right.
So hydration.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So Johnny and Tanika are having the before 5 p.m. version of this drink, which is just the flour and the soda water. But after this video, I can't promise that I'm not going to also throw some flowers in the freezer and maybe pop open my own bottle of Kettle One Botanical.
Absolutely.
We encourage that. We'll be doing the same thing.
Right.
We're using like these really long Collins ice cube molds to make them so they can stand up really proper in our glass. But whatever you have at home, your regular run-of-the-mill ice cube tray that every old school kitchen has, you can use that and drop the flowers in there. Our whole thing is not about going out and buying a bunch of extra stuff, using what you already have and just making it work.
Right. Well, that leads beautifully into today's class, which is entertaining on a budget. So speaking of using what you already have, I know you all have a lot of great information to share with us today, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Please take it away.
Absolutely.
Well, first, for you guys who don't know who we are, I'm Johnny Caldwell.
And I'm Tanika Reeves.
And we are the Cocktail Bandits,
your curly ladies who talk cocktails daily.
And as Liz said, we are located in beautiful and historic Charleston, South Carolina, where we curate cocktails and we host events centered around food and beverage culture all over the world.
Yes, we believe that there is a beverage for every occasion, and we just love being able to educate while we're entertaining and empowering about beverages and beverage culture.
And just like cocktails, entertaining at home can be very intimidating. So we want to take some of the fear out of hosting events and also some of the unnecessary costs that you may have associated with hosting an event by using some of our tried and true tips that we have as professional event planners.
Exactly. You'd be surprised what you can do with very little. So let's get into our list.
Let's do it. So the first thing is always, the decor and how things are going to look. So we always suggest starting your shopping excursions at a thrift store.
Yes.
Follow me here now, Liz.
I'm ready. I'm following.
We're all luxury ladies. We love the finer things, you know what I'm saying? But the thrift store can be a huge trove of treasures, of antique items, and they're always super affordable. Most of the glasses that you can get from a thrift store are between 25 cents and 99 cents.
Absolutely. And I'm just a thrift queen. We love to go into the thrift store and just get inspired. You see things that you wouldn't even think that you would need for an event. You see glasses that you would not see in a regular store. And it just pushes you to be creative. So definitely.
I follow several thrift stores here in Louisville on Instagram, and I'm like constantly like, is this thing still available? Because it's gorgeous and I want it.
Exactly. And there's a lot of one-of-a-kind or one-off things too that you can't find again. So we love it's like a treasure hunt.
It is a treasure hunt. And you're also giving those pieces another life. Like, someone loved on those glasswares or that vase, and now you're bringing it to your home and giving it a second life. We're all about being sustainable. So whatever we can reuse and repurpose, we are all about that. So take that vase or that jug and make it into a flower arrangement, or use it to serve cocktails in. Or, there's just so many multi-use that you can have with things that cost so little when you're buying them.
Absolutely. And you'd be surprised. I found like so many cool like wine holders and just different containers of things where I can hold my bottles for $4.99, $5 at the thrift store.
Yes, always stopping on her. She loves to take road trips.
Yes.
And whenever she goes on the road, she stops at thrift stores and finds the most amazing things. And they're always great stories of the thrift store owners too.
Yeah, they are. So.
Yeah. So full of stories. There's a huge yard sale that happens from like Michigan to Alabama. And I was raised on every summer going to that yard sale with my grandparents and like just finding antiquing and finding old things. So I'm totally with you.
Yes. That's a good time. I want to be a part of that yard sale. That's the state line.
Come on, yes.
Yes. Give me a little sip of this soda water. These lights are hot, y'all.
Absolutely.
It is. It's for the ambiance. So the next thing that we're going to share is very simple. It is to start on time. I know that can be like something that people are classically like, I'm always late. That is not cute. Being always late is not cute.
I'm working on that.
And the best thing about starting on time is that you can budget your time. People don't think about how much time it takes to plan an event, to host the event. You don't want to squander away your time because you have other things that you need to do.
Yeah.
So when you start your event on time, that means you can end your event on time.
Yeah. Very valuable.
And then you can get back to whatever you have to do. You have to always clean up after the event as well. So you want to leave time so you're not going to sleep that night and leaving a mess in your house and waking up to a mess. I hate that. So on time, end on time. Tell your guests, hey, we're ending at 10. Get there on time. You might miss some food, miss some drinks. So I strongly suggest attending on time. So yes, that's a tip.
Absolutely. I do find that when you go to an event on time, you do have choices of an array of foods and drinks. When you go late, you have like the 2 or 3 things left over.
Right.
So get there early so you can enjoy the full spectrum of the event.
Yes, indeed. Are you punctual, Liz? Are you someone who's always on time?
So I've been on a journey. I've really been on a journey. I think I've gotten better about it, but I am that person whose friends tell them to be there like 20 minutes before they actually have to be there. But I've gotten better. I've really gotten better over the years. My friend actually did that to me one time, like 2 years ago. And I showed up at the time she told me and I was there before her. And she's like, I thought you'd be late. So, but no, I'm with you. I've gotten better as I've like gotten into doing events for a living. You do understand how valuable your time is. And I think we undervalue our time a lot of the time. And because we think like we're the last ones to be taken care of. But part of delivering the best event is being your best self while you're delivering it. Yes. And time plays such a big part in that. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and when you're rushed, you're overwhelmed as well. It's hard for you to tend to your guests. It's hard for you to be focused when you're like all over the place. So yeah.
Yep.
Be on time. The next tip we have is one that we think is really intentional, and that's to send a personalized invitation. And this can be super cheap. You can go to a craft store and make your own invitation, and that even has a more personalized touch. But what it does is it allows your friends to plan. It's not just an idea. Like, I'm thinking about hosting an event. Now it's an actual thing because you have a physical invitation with all the details on it. You can have your friends send in an RSVP so you can get a count of who's going to be attending. And also on the invitation, you can have people put down if they have any dietary restrictions. So someone is pescatarian or vegan, you'll know in advance so that you can prepare your menu accordingly.
That's so important. Yeah.
And you also know how many people are going to arrive at your event. So you'll know how much food to have and how much ice, because people underestimate how much ice you need for an event.
Great point.
And we are just really big on having enough ice for our beverages. Because
it ends the party. If you're out of ice,
it does.
You can't drink anymore. You can't make any more cocktails. You can't chill them down. You can't put it in the glass. So that'll be the ultimate shame to ruin your party because you didn't have enough ice.
Right. I hope everyone is taking notes. This is good stuff.
And personalized invitations add a little oomph to the event. Like, it makes people want to come to your event. It's like, oh, I feel special. They thought about me. They sent me this. Even when I get personalized invites via email, I'll still respond to them or RSVP because they didn't have to invite me. Yeah. So I like personalization.
And the physical invitation also like lives on past the event. I put all of my invites on my fridge or like in a box. So you can think about that great time that you had with your friends when you look at that physical invitation. So it just keeps it going. It's just a little personal touch, and you can save money. You don't have to go to a gift card store. Like I said, you can just make your own and keep the cost down. You might can find some at a thrift store.
You can find them at a thrift store. Or you could just write some up yourself.
Yeah.
Just get
some nice quality paper.
Or type them up and just send them off. There's really no wrong way to do that.
And stamps are cheap, so you don't have to go breaking the bank on stamps. People, the service of postal does work sometimes.
Right.
What's going on with our government? We still send back physical mail.
Right.
As Tanika mentioned earlier, curate your menu for cocktails and for food in advance. This will actually help you save on your budget because you're not buying unnecessary food. Especially once you send out the invitation and your friends say, you know what, I'm not drinking milk right now, or, I'm not eating any meat, then you're not going to buy unnecessary food that your guests won't eat. But if you didn't ask them in advance with the invitation, then you wouldn't know. And then you would have a menu that doesn't really fit for your guest.
Absolutely. And what I like about curating a food and drink menu, you can kind of add your creativity to it. It can be pairings.
Yeah.
It can be something that you would visualize in your mind and you brought this to life with your friends. It could just be like whatever you want. So I like to do that because we do different pairings and we do different things for people to really focus on the spirit or the food choices that we pick for that event.
Or if it's like a fiesta,
and
you want to have tacos, it gives you a chance to put things on theme and really have that whole idea of the event kind of honed in to reflect the whole energy that people are going to bring. Because then they may have festive outfits that they wear or wear a fun hat. That there's a whole theme that goes along with the food, the vibe, and the drinks.
Right. But the dietary restriction thing is so important because I cannot tell you, like, it is the worst feeling in the world when someone comes into an event and is like, I'm vegan or whatever, and you haven't planned for that. I mean, it makes it tough for the person with those dietary restrictions because they either can't enjoy the event or can't stay.
Right.
Because they also need to be fed. So like taking that into account is so important.
Who wants to eat chips the whole night?
Right. Right.
That can't sustain someone who's having some really fine cocktails that you've curated. So you gotta have food on point, and you want to be able to really satisfy people's need and introduce them to something new, but within their dietary restrictions. So this again being intentional.
Right.
Yes. The next thing on the list is to buy multiple use items. And this again goes back to the thrifting of it all. Whenever you can have things that serve multiple purposes, you're saving time, money, and energy. So for an example, if you have a charcuterie board and you have different herbs, can those herbs be used to season your chicken as well? Can those herbs be used as a garnish in your cocktail as well? That gives you more bang for your buck. And it also takes the theme of your food throughout the whole experience.
Yes, and even to piggyback off that, just getting items that are multiple use. Like I stay in a very small space. So being able to have like a table that can stretch out for when you have multiple guests versus one that is more compact and unique space
Mhm.
is wonderful. It's very convenient. So just having things that have multiple uses really saves a lot of money for you and space, because space is valuable as well.
It
Mhm.
is valuable, especially when you have guests coming over. You want everyone to be comfortable.
Yeah.
It's horrible when you're in a small space trying to mingle. I'll be the first person to leave if I feel cramped.
Right.
So you do want to give people a breathable area to work around. You know, maybe have something that has indoor outdoor access so
Yes.
people can move in and out of the enclosed space. But yeah, multi-use is super important. Definitely when it comes to buying your food and drink items. You know, I always cook with booze a little bit, so I always pour a little bit of sherry or a little bit of this beautiful flavored vodka into a meal, and that gives us some more herbaceous and more botanical notes. So can your spirit be used more than once? All those things help with when you go out shopping, and also what you have on your bar. As Tanika said, you don't want to have your bar full of a bunch of glasses and a bunch of dishes taking up space. You want to
Mhm.
be able to have that thing be condensed so you have more space for people to move around and enjoy themselves.
Mhm.
Very important. So after that, it is buy multiple use item. Well,
Yeah.
we did that, and then we are going to personalize the details as much as possible. We talked about that earlier. It shows so much intention and thought, and your guests will greatly appreciate it. I remember when we were in Italy, and they just had our names on these like leaves from the trees. They just put our names on
Oh.
these leaves and use those as like placemats for our table. And I thought that was so cute and creative. And
Mhm.
I'm sure that was like very cost effective. But things
Mhm.
like that just make you feel special. It was definitely Instagram worthy. So I
Right.
took a picture. And, you know, just those things, they're very memorable.
Mhm.
That's a good idea. Having things be personalized, especially in the time that we're experiencing with
Yeah.
coronavirus, having people have individual glasses that they know is theirs. And a function, especially a house function, you can put your glass down somewhere and pick up another glass. It's so easy to make
Mhm.
glassware that all looks the
That's
same.
true.
So if you can have a glass that has people's names attached to it, like a little piece of twine with the little name tag on it, it's super personalized and it keeps people from mixing up their glass with somebody else's glass.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it
And
can
that
be
can potentially be like a takeaway gift for them too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's
Mhm.
Yeah, we were in Mexico recently, and this one of the organizers got me a shot cup that's like a boot with my name on it, and I just thought that was so cute. So now it's up on my bar at
Oh,
home.
yeah. And it makes you remember that event and how much fun you had at it. Yeah.
Yes.
It does. And whenever someone comes over, they're like, "Oh, what is this? You have a story to tell."
Yes.
And we
Mhm.
all about storytelling, and those little personalized touches really do live on after the event. So we're big proponents of giving people a memory and not just a one-off experience. So personalization allows people to do that, and it can be
Right.
as small as a leaf. It can be a little bar tool. We've gotten some really pretty oyster knives.
Yes.
Mm.
Is like that's a really communal thing that we do here in the South. So
Mhm.
we got one from Andrew Zimmer when we did something with him that I will never forget. So just those things just kind of stick with you.
Yeah.
Right.
And in Italy too, we went to a distillery, and after we learned the whole process of their distilling, they all gave us a certificate of completion that I still have like in my safekeeping. So I'm sure that
Mhm.
was no cost, but it was so special, and we were so excited to see this man like inscribe it the way that he wrote. So it was just
Right.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, at any event that I go to, if there's a takeaway, if there's anything about it that was personal for me, that's the thing in like 2 years when I'm doing my like annual purge that I'm going to hold on to,
Mhm.
you know.
Despite Marie Kondo saying, you
Get
gotta
rid
get
of
rid
it.
of it, but it
Get
sparks
rid of it
joy.
all.
That's smart.
Right. No, I
Exactly.
certainly have like the box from like this year to this year and this year to this year with things in it that I'm like, okay, I should probably have taken that off my fridge by this point because that event was 3 years ago. So that goes in the box. Yeah, I'm a keeper. That's another. I'm late and I'm a keeper. Marie Kondo would hate me.
But I think in this industry, so many events are so memorable, and then you meet so
Mhm.
many people at these events that you kind of don't want to forget them. So you
Right.
keep all of the things. We keep all
Right.
of the lanyards
Yeah.
and all of those things because especially
Mhm.
during this time, it's just great memories.
Mhm.
So let's get back to our list.
Mhm.
For number 7, we said we want to curate custom games. Games are ideal icebreakers, so you don't have to break the bank buying different games. Make up your own cool game and share them with your guests. Games also encourage more interaction. So Even with our virtual events, we'll ask everyone like, what's the beverage that they feel like they are today? And it really opens up everyone's like conversations. We see what they're drinking. We know what the kind of beverages they like, and it really starts a conversation. So just making up games. We've seen a lot of spirits companies during this time make games and send them out to different people. We've gotten a lot of games from brands, and we've been using them at home, and they've been amazing.
Yeah, they have been. There's always time to bring out a deck of cards and play. We are all about busting out some cards, playing some spades.
Oh, some spades, some rook. Yeah, I'm with you.
A little wager on it. And it does. It lightens the mood. People get really invested in winning the game. And again, if you have a little personalized gift that you can give them to incentivize them to play the game, then that really gets people really interactive and really excited. And people are making new friendships. And, it just is really fun. There's some games on the phone that you can use as well. There's one that I love called For the Culture. It's one of those little flip phone games. But it's 99 cents. And it has great pop culture in it. So it's current. It's fun. It's hip for millennials. We're older millennials, Liz.
We are.
Right.
These glowing skin.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
We're older millennials, so we like to get into the 90s hip hop culture with trivia and stuff. And it really does make it into a really fun, interactive event when you have some good games going on.
And that's a good point. There are a lot of games on phones that are super cheap that everyone can interact with. So
I'm a fan of the game. I'm a competitive person, and I love playing a game. Any game, I'm down. So I'm with you on that one.
Yes. This keeps the party going. I hate going to an event and people are like, all right, what do we do now?
Or just
we're just sitting around. You already drank. You already ate to your heart's content. So a game gives you something to do before you start dancing, because you're all about
we can't forget about that. Yeah.
Yes, that's the most important part of the event. Add that to the list. That's free of charge.
Honorable right here.
Get your dance on.
Get your dance on. Curated playlist.
Yes.
Playlist. Yeah. Our assistant Julia, she's so great about when we do photo shoots having a playlist so that we have a good mood going on in our photo shoots.
Really a vibe.
It's a vibe. So the same thing plays for at a party. Get you a curated playlist. Already have it going on Spotify or Pandora or whatever you use. So you don't have to worry about DJing the whole event. It's just good. You already have the vibe curated.
And many of your friends want that playlist after the event.
Right.
I've heard this song before. What kind of song is this? I get that all the time.
There's everything.
So yes, as we stated earlier, number 8 is get creative with your ice.
Yes.
There's so many ice molds. We get them all the time from different brands. We also go buy different molds. We went to this place called the Ice Bar back in St. Augustine,
Florida.
And they just had cool ice for different types of cocktails. So shaved ice, you can get the crushed ice. Thank you. The beautiful cubes, the clear spheres. Just get and have a good time with your ice, and that is relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, the water's free.
Right.
But the water's free.
Yeah.
The molds, and the molds are super cheap. Depending, again, go thrifting. We found some molds. Pineapple, not pineapple, but popsicle molds can be used for ice as well.
That's true.
So just get creative and get multi-use with some of these things that you have. Drop you some fruit in there, herbs, lemons, slices, peppercorns, all kind of fun stuff can go inside the ice cube. And again, as it melts, now you're releasing a whole new flavor aspect to the cocktail.
It can be some more beverages. It can be maybe a juice or some type of mixed spirit that's freezable. And you can add that to your drink to, add some razzle dazzle to it.
Like a slow melt, slow add cocktail. That's beautiful. Something with some color to it, maybe like some vitamin flour in there that's going to change the cocktail. We all about cocktail magic over here. So something that transforms really fun.
Yes.
And who knew? I mean, 2 drinks in one. And that ice melts, you've got a whole other drink.
Exactly. You have another cocktail.
Right.
Love it.
And people love that kind of stuff. They think, oh my God, I would never thought of doing that. And that's why you do it. You give them a little extra touch. You inspire people. Take them to the next level. And again, they'll never forget that cocktail that you served them.
All right. So the next tip is take your entertainment outside.
Right.
Changing the scenery can make a big difference when entertaining. Instead of having your gathering in the home, try a porch party, an outside barbecue, or a dinner by the pool. This immediately gives you a different ambiance at zero cost. Yep. So you can have your pool party with your bathing suits, or you can have your cookout with your nice tank top and your Vans, Vans.
Right.
So it's just, and it can be all in the same house. So it saves you money, but it also gives you a different vibe. Like Johnny said, the indoor, outdoor type of feel.
So great. It does. It breaks up the event. Now you have a second phase or intermission, and it's like you're giving them two parties in one.
Exactly.
But it's really just a continuation of the same experience. Settings. You can have different cocktails for the outside event.
Absolutely.
Then in the inside, different food. And it really just stretches out what you already have. But it makes it seem like you're giving them multi-parts to this party. So yeah. Make it multi-area, different lighting, different chairs if you have it. But again, repurpose what you already have and just make it a little bit different for the different venues that you're using.
People like different vibes. Some people are not outdoorsy people. Like my sister does not like outside. So when I know that she's coming, I know it has to be an indoor event because she's not having the outside on her plate. So you just have to make sure you cater to the people that you are actually doing the event with or for.
That's a good one. If you are going to be outside, you need to have something that's going to, cover from the sunlight if it's super hot. And also in the South, we have a bug problem.
Flies.
They are out already in abundance, Liz.
The cicadas. It's cicada season.
They are, can be a nuisance to an event. So you are going to have something outside to get you some of those bug repellents.
Yes, or those tents that actually have the bug. It is insane sometimes in the South.
Well, you're load up with citronella. Yeah, I am in Louisville, and we have citronella. I mean, every 2 feet, another citronella. Yeah, and then just bucket of bug spray right before you reach the door. Spray yourself and head outside. But I'm an outside person. I love being outside.
Yeah,
same. But I don't it up, and I'm always the one that have multiple bites from.
I'm suffering from it as we speak. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have the bugs ruin your party. So plan to get that bug spray. Or, what's also great if you're going to have a fire pit. Fire is a natural bug repellent. And it's also a great secondary part to your event to have like a little fireside bonfire going. Have people come around that, maybe have like a little dessert over there by the bonfire. So yeah, again, multi-purpose use and not just using it as a centerpiece or an activity, but actually is helping you guys, control the environment that your guests are enjoying. Fun. Shout out to
yes,
all those people having events outside. Next on the list, because we can go for where there's so many tips.
There's so many tips.
I know. Don't I know it? We already have questions too.
We've already added a couple to the list, but a good event planner can always learn and grow and be more efficient. So yes, we're learning from you as well, Liz.
And our final tip is to show gratitude. People love to be appreciated, so let them know by showing it in small ways. Purchase a wine that you know your guests will enjoy. Make a favorite recipe. Give out thoughtful small gifts. Thank them for coming to celebrate with you. Smile. Just know how valuable they are. It's free to show gratitude and leaves a lasting impact.
I love that one.
Yeah, just be grateful.
I'm always surprised when we go to events and the guest doesn't like welcome us or for being there. I'm like, we could have been any place else in the world.
Right.
And we're here with you. And you even think to say thank you for coming out. Just that little small touch really makes people feel welcome in your space, makes them feel like they made the right decision. Because sometimes there are multiple events happening in the night. And if I chose to be there with you should be lucky that we came out over the other one. So at least you would say thank you for attending.
Yes.
Time, so yes, a little keepsake afterwards as well. As Tanika noted, will always keep people coming back, and they'll remember, she had a great event last time. I'm definitely going to prioritize her event and make sure that we attend this one as well.
Yeah,
on the flip side, when we do events and we have like anybody, whether it's 5 people show up or 500 people show up, I just feel so overwhelmed that they took the time out of their schedule to come spend it with us and learn with us
Mhm.
and grow with us on this journey, because it's a journey for everyone. So
Mhm.
very, very grateful for the time that everyone puts in, our assistants, people who follow us on social media, just anyone that is helping us on the come up. We are
Right.
grateful for you. So
And that's whether it's a free event or a paid event.
exactly.
We don't treat any attendees any different whether there was a free event or if it was paid. Like you
Mhm.
could go anywhere else and you still chose to come down and spend your time with us.
Yes.
That is appreciated. We're going to give you the same value of an event whether it's free or paid. So don't skimp on the complimentary events, because we do make host events for a living as well.
Mhm.
The same quality should be offered, no matter what's going on. If you're going to host an event, it should be a quality event.
Yes.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, we have just a couple questions here.
Okay.
Lovely.
So one question is, what is your favorite way to approach coming up with a theme, and where does your inspiration come from?
Oh, that's so tough.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
This was asked to me a couple weeks ago, and I said fashion. Sometimes I look at different like fashion trends or just different colors, and it inspires me to think about, what can I do with this color? What can I do with this?
Mhm.
What can I do with this like top? This is so different. How can I add that to like what we're trying to do? What kind of vibe? So I think fashion
Mhm.
is a big thing, and music. Because with TikTok and all the dance moves and stuff now, it also inspires me to do certain events in that fashion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. It really depends also, as we always say, because if we're curated and we're, tasked by a brand to host an event, we're definitely going to be in line whatever that theme is.
Mhm.
But we also factor in whatever season it is. If we're doing something that's happy hour themed or daytime drinking themed, all that
Mhm.
goes into how we flesh out the menu, because you don't want heavy food if it's a daytime afternoon tea event. And you
Sure.
don't want, heavy sweets if we're having, a really curated, delicious meal with wines, and you want to be able to taste nuances with that. So it just really depends on what the overall goal of the event is. And that's what I love about our brand is that we can have events that cover the gambit of themes. One of our favorite events that I love that we host, we haven't had it for a while, it's called Trappy Hour. And it is
I
trap music.
love it.
Yes, it's like
during happy hour.
right.
And
Right.
then we have local artists perform as well. So it gives them a platform.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, we love music. We love to have music centered around our events.
Music is a good inspiration. Yeah.
So we want to have that be the focus and have the cocktails are going to energize you and have you pumped and ready to dance and get out there and sweat a little bit. There's a place for that. And there's also a place for a beautiful afternoon tea where you enjoy a beautiful spritz if you would like it, using Kettle One botanicals. So it just, it depends.
Travel as well. We have traveled to different countries, and come back to Charleston. We like to do an event so the people here in Charleston can have a little piece of what we experienced. So travel has definitely been a big inspiration for us in our beverage themed events.
We've been missing that, so we're looking forward to getting back on the road.
No.
Some more experiences to be inspired.
Exactly. Well, that kind of leads into the next question beautifully. What is your go-to tip for setting the vibe of an event?
I think the music again plays
I agree. Yeah.
I have been at venues that are so beautiful. The service has been great, but the music was so tired, Liz. I could not. I couldn't go. I was like, man, I'd rather sit in a dive bar,
right,
music than this. And I know I'm gonna get, a certain type of drink and a certain type of beer. I'd rather here than sit in this nice restaurant. Now I'll get my food to go. Or I sit at the bar and eat, and then I'll like leave. But the music is so important.
Yeah.
To have. I've been ran out of more bars because of the music than crappy service. So I will deal with the asshole bartender if it's a vibe and we can like jam inside there and have my little beer in the back. So definitely have that music be right. It doesn't have to be hip hop all the time. It depends on what the vibe is.
Yeah.
Like if we're in a jazz bar, I want to hear really good jazz.
Mm-hmm.
If we're at some type of, speakeasy and there's a great live band playing, they need to be good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's just music. That's the main
Yeah.
vibe setter.
Yeah, take it to Spotify. Music and lighting are like the two most important things to me in like any social situation. It's the music and lighting, always.
That's a good one. If it's too dark and you can't see who you're talking to,
Mm-hmm.
or so bright where you see everything.
Yeah,
right. That's the one that I avoid.
Like,
the bright one. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is a fun one. What are your favorite party games outside of spades?
Okay. We have one here in Charleston. It's called Tonk. I don't know if this is like a national game or not. It's also
familiar.
It's
okay.
like stir them up, maybe from country, Liz.
Mm-hmm. Also, same. Yes. I grew up on spades, canasta, rook, dominoes.
Dominoes.
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
For the cookout.
Mm-hmm.
Busting out a little hopscotch, little jump rope. It depends.
Get physical with it. Yeah.
It depends. It depends on, what's going on. Charades is always fun.
Yeah, charades.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a whole lot of equipment. You can really do an impromptu charades game just with some paper that you cut up and,
and they kind of have those games on the phone now too, where you can put the phone on.
Right. What was the name of that phone game that you mentioned?
For the Culture.
Okay, I need to remember that one because it sounds like a good time.
Games. And then we had a brand send us this game, but it was super intimate. It's like asking you really like deep questions. Yeah. So it's for like very close loved ones and stuff. But I actually played it with one of my loved ones, and you learn a lot about yourself, about him. It was very interesting.
I say play it with a complete stranger and just get right in there,
It probably would be easier with a complete stranger.
Right. Right.
Honest.
Yeah.
Great idea. I might do that. Yes.
Right. Just get right in. Just cut right to the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your games are great though. Something fun, something easy. You don't want to bust out Monopoly because that's too involved of a game. Mm-hmm. You don't want to really think and have to add too much and have a strategy when you're having like a house gathering. So I wouldn't suggest that kind of board game, but charades or something that you can like pop up that's super easy.
Even if it's a little game like, hey, look out for this particular thing tonight. You might find behind it, just aware and keeping you like present.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a good one too. Mm-hmm.
And all of these are like free entertainment too. Yeah.
Free 9. Yes.
It is. You will definitely learn something about your guests, whether it be like you didn't know this person was that competitive, or they didn't have smart about sports,
or that's funny.
Yeah,
right.
I'm like a comedian on the low, so
right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. It's been so fun hanging out, and I want to keep this going, but we are going to keep it going on Sunday with your Ask Me Anything at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if your questions weren't answered today, or you just get to thinking about it and have another question for Johnny and Tanika, 2 p.m. Eastern on the Portland Cocktail Week Instagram on Sunday is the place to ask it. We have new classes on weekdays on the Portland Cocktail Week Facebook page and YouTube page. So check those out. Johnny, Tanika, I cannot thank you enough. This was so lovely. It's always amazing seeing you both. You gave me some great tips. I'm definitely going to download that game. That sounds like a good one just to have on hand. I never know when I might need it. But I appreciate you both so much. Thank you for your time today. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Liz.
Cheers.